greatest common factoring, square root strategy, guess and check, and then completing the square. Out of these four, are any of them, do you feel like you understand?
Yeah,
one?
yeah.
Which
So
one do you,
yeah, I just know
which one
that
do you,
the square root strategy, is D.
which one do you think is the easiest for you? And to which one do you think you know the best?
GCF factoring.
GCF factoring. All right, well, let's start with that problem then. So let me snip in this one. Now on the test, you may have to identify which one it is, but letter A is definitely GCF factoring.
Yeah.
And the reason it's GCF factoring is because every term, and you can see like this 2x squared is a term and this 9x is a term. Every term has an x in it.
Yeah.
Good. But like notice that letter B, letter C, and letter D, if you look at each one of those, they have non-x terms in them. Basically, they have numbers that don't have an x with it, but these both have an x in it. Okay. And that is why this one is GCF factoring. Okay. Is that clear? So if every term has an x in it, it's GCF factoring. So the strategy here, and you know, if you're playing games, you know about strategies. The strategy is to move all terms to one side of the equation.
Okay.
Okay, so what I mean by that is we're going to subtract 9x from both sides of the equation.
Subtract 9x for both sides from the equation. I know that.
Yes.
All right.
All right, so on the left, it becomes 2x squared minus 9x equals 0.
Okay. It's just 0?
You're subtracting 9x from both sides of the equation. It was positive 9x. So when you subtract 9x, it goes away completely.
Okay.
So let me know when you get this down.
Yeah. All right, got it down.
Okay, and again, see how both of these have an x in it?
Yeah.
So we're gonna factor out an x. And by factoring, it's the equivalent of doing the following. You're dividing both of these by x.
Okay.
So what is 2x? What is, and I'm asking you, Sourish, what is 2x squared divided by x?
2x squared divided by x.
Yes. And if you're not sure, then let's look at the other one, 9x divided by x.
9.
That's 9. Up here, there's x squared, meaning that's x times x up here. And then you have 1x on the bottom. So do you see how one of those x's cancels with the one on the bottom?
Okay.
The 2x
All right,
squared
yeah,
is
let me
really,
just write that down.
2x squared is really 2x times x, and then you divide by x. And again, those cancel, leaving you with just the 2x.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I wrote it down. I wrote it down, Matthew.
All right, so now you set each of these terms, and I'm going to box in the terms. You set each of these terms equal to 0. Okay, so see how there's just an x there? You set that equal to 0. And then what's in the other box? It's 2x minus 9. You set that equal to 0.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Okay, now the left one is already solved for X. How do you solve this one on the right? It's a two-step equation. How do you solve a two-step equation?
How do you solve a two-step equation?
Yes. How do you solve this one on the right here for X? We've got to move this -9 to the other side of the equation. How do you move it to the other side of the equation?
You subtract. You just have to subtract or divide.
Well, it's subtracted right now. How do you undo subtraction?
Adding.
Add 9 to both sides. So this is 2x equals 9.
Yeah. Yeah, it is right. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so divide both sides by 2. And then there's your second answer. X equals 9 divided by 2.
Okay. Okay, there we go.
All right, so you got all this down?
Yeah.
Fantastic. So we've dealt with GCF factoring. That's problem A. My guess is that 3 or 4 is kind of your next strength for this.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Or square root
it's just
strategy.
x
Either
equals
one.
9/2.
Yes, but I mean, I'm asking now. We're going to move on to another problem. So, do you think 3 or 4 is better for you? Which one do you think you know better?
For the factoring and guess and check?
Yeah, because we want to choose the one that you know best and do next.
It's C.
What is C?
C for the factoring and guess and check.
No, it's not C. I'm asking which strategy you think you know best between factoring, guess and check, and square root strategy. Which one do you think is easier for you to understand?
Square root strategy.
Okay, so square root strategy. We're gonna pull up. We'll work on that problem next. So square root strategy is letter C here, and we're going to talk about why this is square root strategy. All right, and my question to you is how many X's do you see? In this, how many X's do you see?
How many X's do you see? One.
Yes.
There's only one X.
There's only one X. So that's the indicator that square root strategy. When you only see one X, that's one way to know. Because on your exam, you may not be told, hey, this is the strategy to use. So you have to figure it out.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. So what I want to do next is I want you to imagine that what I'm putting into this red right here, we're going to call this X for the moment. Okay. This X minus 1 squared, we're going to call it X. So I'm going to rewrite the equation. 5x minus 40 equals 0. And how would you solve this equation? This is a two-step equation. How would you solve it, Sourish?
Okay, you should divide.
Well, let's go back and look at a previous problem. What did you do here to solve this two-step equation?
Okay. All right.
So how do you solve a
So
two-step?
C is a square root strategy, right?
Yes. But I'm asking you how you solve this two-step equation.
You subtract by both sides by 5.
But 5 is multiplying x.
Okay.
So let's go back. It's the same as this problem right here. 2x minus 9 equals 0. What did we do to solve this?
We to solve that, we just okay, we just added it
Why did we add 9?
because we have to add 9 so you can get ourselves a fraction.
No, we didn't. That's not why. Why did we add 9 here? It's based on the previous line. I'm asking you just to
It's
focus on
because it's 2x minus 9.
because
And
it's
x and
subtracting.
minus is a minus includes to multiplication. I mean addition, I'm sorry.
That's right. That's right. So because it's subtracting 9, you add 9. Go down to your problem down here. What are you subtracting?
40.
So how do you undo subtraction by 40?
Adding.
Add 40.
Yeah.
Okay, so 5x equals 40.
Yeah.
What is the math operation between the 5 and the x? What is the 5 doing to the x?
Let me just write that down. There we go. All right, got that down.
Okay, so back to my question here. What is the 5 doing to the x? What is the math operation between the 5 and the x?
Okay, so now you just have to, all right, so now you just have to divide it by x, divide by x.
Okay, let's go back and look. Did we do that in the previous problem? Did we divide both sides by x
Oh, we
here?
know 5. I'm just very sorry. It's just always.
Okay, so we're going to divide both sides by 5. So x equals 8. Do you see that?
Yeah.
But here's the thing. This is important. We did not, x is not really x. X is this thing up here. So yes, it is x, but we need to change this back to x minus 1 squared equals 8. Because if you recall, the original problem had x minus 1 squared in it. Okay, so let me know when you get this line written down. We'll talk about how to solve using the square root property.
There we go. All right, I got it down.
Okay, so the key component of solving using the square root property is to use the square root. So you're going to write this symbol. This symbol right here is the square root symbol. Have you seen that before?
Yeah.
And you have to use it on both sides of the equation.
Yep.
Okay, now on the left, the square root undoes the square, so it just leaves you with x minus 1. how do you
Yeah.
undo subtraction by 1? How do you undo -1?
Okay. All right, let me just okay, so x minus 1 equals plus -8. That is so you should divide, right?
What would you divide by?
8 by 2.
Well, let's go back and look. Why did you divide by 5 in this line right here? Why did
Because 5 has the x, so
that's right.
5x is
Is there
important.
so is there anything in front of the x here?
No,
No. So you don't divide. What is this right here?
-1.
Subtract
-1.
1. How do you undo subtraction by 1?
Okay.
So you're going to add 1 to both sides of the equation.
Yeah. Okay, add both sides by the equation.
Yes. So x equals, and then it's best to put this in front, 1 plus or minus the square root of 8.
Okay, yes, that's the answer, right?
Well, kind of. There's a small thing, but we can call this done.
Okay. Okay, there we go. All right.
All right. So, Sourish, I just sense that you don't find this very interesting. Would that be true to say?
I'm trying to just remember. I'm just trying to like I'm trying to just I'm trying to like understand the concept for the square root strategy between like 5x minus 1 2 minus 40 equals 0.
Yeah, but it's okay to say, yeah, this isn't very interesting.
Yeah, I know.
Like, it's okay to say that. And I don't want this to be painful. I want you to tell me like, hey, this is really boring.
I know, yeah.
So like, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't find this interesting. I mean, this is just,
Well, maybe this will be interesting for me just to see if they have notes on it.
yeah, but if I said, hey, you can solve a square root strategy problem, or you can do something else, you would probably do the other thing, I would think, because I mean, sincerely, this is not interesting.
I know.
Okay, and it's okay. It's totally okay that
Yeah.
we say it that way. But if we say, okay, we both say, look, this is not interesting. Then we can actually say, okay, let's get through it. Let's try to work our way through it. Like, I don't want to do extra work with you, but we've got to be focused for the time that we have.
Yeah, I'm trying to become focused.
Okay. Well, when I ask you a question, I really hope you're listening, because I'm trying to lead you through the problems.
Okay.
And that's, this lesson doesn't have to go on forever. We can literally.
I don't want this to be I don't want this to go on forever. I just want to
neither,
focus and understand.
neither do I. So it's okay that it's not interesting. We're going to work through it though. You have my assurances. We're going to get through everything.
Yeah.
All right. So the next problem here is the strategy factoring, guess, and check.
Okay, it's B.
It's B. Yep. Okay. Now, the reason we know it's factoring, guess, and check is there are 3 terms. Okay.
3 terms, okay.
1, 2, and 3. Okay. That's one way. It's not the best way, because there's cases where that isn't always true.
Yeah. That's right. Okay, and there's three terms, and then how, so there's three terms.
So the guess and check, the reason it's called guess and check is you're supposed to look at this number right here, 5,
Yeah,
and you're supposed to say the factors of 5, like 5 and 1, like 5 times 1 multiplies to 5.
yeah, just 5 and 1, and for 2, 1 and 2, for 3,
We
1,
don't have to do for -3 though. We do have to do it, and it's either -1 and 3 or 1 and -3.
1 and -3.
Do you see how these both multiply to -3?
Yeah,
Okay.
okay, yeah. So then, yeah, so a positive and a negative equals a negative.
All right. So now the guess and check comes from the following. You're supposed to try, and I'm going to write them all out. 5x. I'm sorry. I got this mixed up here. We're supposed to write out all the possibilities here. So it's 5x times x, and then it's -1 plus 3, 5x plus 3 minus 1, and then actually let me put a little room here. And then it's 5x plus 1, x minus 3, 5x minus 3, x plus 1. So these are all the possible solutions to this problem. And the way you check, you see how it says the word check there?
Yeah,
You check using this method called FOIL.
FOIL.
FOIL. So
Okay.
FOIL means the following. I'll show you the first one here. FOIL means take 5x and multiply it by x. 5x
Mhm.
times x is 5x squared.
Yeah,
Then you do the outer 5x times 3, that's 15x. The I stands for inner, minus 1x, and then L stands for last, which is
yeah,
-1 times 3, that's -3. And then you add these all up, and hopefully it equals the one that you started with.
yeah. Okay, yeah,
Okay, so notice that this equals 5x squared plus 14x minus 3. Does it equal this, or is it the same as this original one?
yeah.
It is. The
Oh,
original's
wait, no, wait, well, hold on. I think no.
no, it's not. It's got to be exactly the same.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
Okay, so let's look at the next one.
Okay, yeah, let's look at the next one.
Okay, so the next one is 5x times x. That's the first. What's 5x times x?
Okay, 5x times x,
It's the same as
5.
over here. 5x squared. We did it over here. What is 5x times -3?
5x times -3,
Yes.
and -15.
-15x. What is 1 times x?
1 times x, 1.
1x. And then 1 times -3.
1 times -3.
Yes.
That's -3.
3. Good. Okay, now when you add these up, you get 5x squared minus 14x minus 3. Okay, so do you want to
Okay,
try foiling the next two?
and the foiling the next two,
So here's the, because neither of those work. So we got 2 more to try here.
okay, yeah. All right, I'll try that out. Okay. You want to help me?
Okay, what is 5x times x?
5x times x, it's 5.
It is not 5. We have done 2 problems like this. I don't think you're paying attention, which is okay.
5x times x is 5. 5.
No, it's
5x
not.
squared.
Sourish, we've done this twice. Like you're not paying attention. And we just talked about that. So we're going to take a 3-minute break.
I'm paying attention. I'm
Yeah,
just.
I'm going to take a
just-
3-minute break, and you should too. And we've got 10 minutes to finish the rest of the lesson. So let's do it strong. I'm going to take a 3-minute break.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Hey, Sourish, I'm back.
Okay.
All right. So in the previous problem, we did 5x times x. And what did it equal?
5x times x.
Yes, 5x times x.
X.
Are you looking at my screen?
Yeah, I'm trying to look at your screen. But it has the same problem. Like at the top, 5x times x equals 5x squared.
Yes, and that's the answer I'm looking here, 5x squared.
Yeah.
Okay, now it's 5x times minus 1. What is 5x times minus 1?
5x times minus 1. Okay.
You can start by just saying, well, saying to yourself, well, what is 5 times minus 1?
Okay. Oh, hold on. And then for that, so for 1, it's negative 5x.
Negative 5x, perfect. 3 times x, that's our inner. What is 3 times x?
3 times x plus 3x squared.
Just 3x, there's only an x here. And what is 3 times minus 1?
Negative 3.
Perfect. All right, let's do one more over here on the right.
Okay.
What is 5x times x?
Okay.
I'm asking you.
Yeah, yeah.
We've done 3 just like it.
Okay. Now for that right there, okay, so now for that, 5x squared.
Okay, 5x squared. And then the next
And
one
then
is
and then it's 5 plus 5.
5 times 1 is 5, but there's an x that goes with it. And then minus 3 times x, that's the next one, minus 3 times x.
Minus 3 times x, minus negative minus 3.
With an x.
Uh-huh.
And then minus 3 times minus 1. Minus 3
4.
times 1. You're multiplying. Minus 3 times 1.
It's that's 3 plus 3.
One's positive, one's negative. Negative times a positive.
Negative.
Negative 3. All right, great. So now on the left here, when we combine these inner terms, you get minus 2x. And same thing here, 5x squared, you get plus 2x. Which of these is the same as the original, the one we started with? Is it the one on the left or is it the one on the right?
Okay, and now it's 5x. Okay, I got it.
So do you have an answer for me?
Two x.
All I'm asking you to do is go back to the original problem right here, which is letter B.
Yeah.
I'm asking you which of these is the same as letter B?
No, one of these is the same as letter B. 5x squared and negative 3. They're the same.
Okay, let me snip in question B again here. And let's see if I can get you to just compare them. Okay, so here's B. I'm snipping it here. And then I'm snipping it here. Which one is the same? The left or the right?
The left and the right.
Yeah. Which one is the same? The left or the right?
Both of them.
They're not the same.
Okay, all right. Oh, wait, it's the left.
Yeah, this is different in each one. So which is
Yeah.
the same? Okay. So the guess and check approach is literally you putting down all the possibilities and checking them. But in terms of like what you should copy down, just this last one is the correct answer. So this is the work that you need to show for letter B.
Okay, okay. Okay, there we go. Got it. Got it down.
All right, so now we're going to
D.
the last one, which is what is the only method we have not done yet?
D, which is complete the square.
It is completing the square. Okay, so to complete the square, it's a pretty simple process. It's x squared plus bx, okay? And b is the number in front of x. What number is in front of x? What is the number in front of x, Sourish?
All right, and for okay, so for that right there,
What is the number in front of x?
number in front of x. Okay, the number in front of x is in front of x. Okay.
Do you understand what I'm asking you?
Yeah, the number in front of x is 8.
Okay. All right, so the next thing you have to do is divide this number by 2. What is 8 divided by 2?
8 divided by 2 is 8 divided by 2 is 4.
Okay. And then if you square it, what is 4 squared?
4 squared, 16.
Perfect. Okay, now over here on the right, I'm sorry, on the left, you write x, but then you use this b divided by 2. So you put plus 4 here.
Okay.
And then on the right, you put this 16.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So you want to write everything down kind of in this area. Okay.
Okay. Okay. All right, and then right there,
So now you're going to take a square root of both sides.
yep.
Okay, x plus 4 equals plus or minus the square root of 18. Subtract 4 from both sides. And this is your final answer. So go
Yeah.
ahead and get this all copied down.
Yeah.
Let me know when you're done.
Okay, got it down.
Great. Now, do you think you have time to redo just one of these problems? A, B, C, or D? Do you have one problem that you can redo on your own later on tonight?
No.
Okay. How about tomorrow?
I have to think about it. So wait, so let's redo the problems I have to do.
I'm asking you if you have time tonight to redo just one of the problems, either A, B, C, or D.
I don't want to redo them. I don't want to redo them.
Okay. Go ahead and let your dad know that we're all done.
Hey, Dad. Hey, Dad. Yeah. Hi.
Hey, Dr. Kithari. So we got through the worksheet today. We had to pause the lesson. Sourish was definitely very disinterested today, and I don't know if he's not paying attention, but
I'm paying attention. I'm just
it sure doesn't seem like it. We also I also asked him if he'd be willing to redo just one of the problems tonight, and he said no. So,
Okay.
I mean, it would be nice, but that's between you guys. I think spring break's coming at a good time. Maybe he can come back with a different attitude next,
Yeah.
after
Yeah.
the break. I know we got one more session this week, but
Yeah.
I do like helping him. I think he can do really well in math, but definitely, like you said, you got to put some practice in,
Okay. Okay. I'll talk to him, So,
Sure.
all right. Yeah, we'll see you on Thursday.
Absolutely. Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank
Have a great
you.
night. Bye now.
Bye.
Sorry.
It's okay.